Hi, in this video I'm going to be showing you two wireless battery powered doorbells by XTU. What I want to do is first of all show you the features and benefits of both of them, and I'm going to install one of them and give you a full demonstration of it. Now the first one is this one. This is the MR02, and let's just get this one unboxed. So I always like to get things unboxed on the video, so I promise I've not had a look at this one yet. Personally, I think long gone are the days of having to hardwire a doorbell to drill through. That's okay. Probably around 10 years ago that was okay, but with battery technology and the ability to recharge the doorbell, this is really the way forward now. So this is the MR02, and just have a quick look at this. So it's actually really smart. Considering the price of some of these, I don't know if you've had a look, but I'm going to post a couple of links below because they're actually a lot more competitive than you think. But it's got the full 1080p resolution, so at least you know when you are recording or when you want to play back the footage, then it's going to be really clear. You've got just a plate on here, so this is really designed to stick on to wherever you want it. You can just locate it, and then it's quite flexible. So it doesn't matter, well, I suppose really you want to try and put it on, say if you're putting it on the side of a, say, UPVC door, then you want to make sure it's nice and clean, so give it a really good clean before you put it on. You wouldn't want to put it onto a dirty surface and it might not stick properly. But you've got the batteries in here, so then this is the chime, so this goes inside, so this part will stay inside, and you've got the charging cable as well. And that, let's just have a quick look, yeah, so that just pops into the side here, so when you want to charge it, just pop it in the side. So clearly the batteries are for the chime, and all you need to do, once you've got this set up, then you just need to pair the two together, so the chime and the doorbell, just so that they match. It is IP66 rated, which really it should be now. I suppose the last thing you want to do, well, basically IP66 rated means that it is splash proof. So if it is outside, then if it rains on it, not an issue. Last thing you'd want to do is to have something that's outside on the front of your door or just by the side of your door. It rains and then it ruins it. There's not much point in that. You've also got two-way audio on the MR02. Essentially that means if you were, for example, if you're at work, if you had a delivery, somebody pressed the doorbell, you can actually talk to the person through the doorbell as to what you want to happen with your parcel. Absolutely fantastic. I know quite a few other doorbells do that, but really at these sort of prices, then there are not many on the market that do that. You've got things like night vision, so if you wanted to record something at night, I mean out the front where I park my car, what I want to do is I want to make sure that my car is safe, and if something does happen to it, then I want to make sure if it's during the night, then I've got a nice clear video footage of what's happened. It has a night vision range of up to 33 feet. Now basically my drive is not half as long as that, so at 33 feet during the night is actually really good. You've also got things like PIR motion detection, so because essentially with these you actually put an SD card in, and what it will do is it will actually record any footage of movement onto the SD card. What you've also got on the MR02 is something called PIR motion detection. And essentially what this will do is it will only record when you get a certain movement within a certain area. I'll give you a demonstration on this model when I get it all set up. But what you don't want to be doing is to be recording all the time. So what you can do, you can actually record on, so basically it records onto an SD card or a micro SD. That's probably the best way of doing it. You have got cloud storage if you want to. You could just follow through the app and it will show you how to do that if you chose to. Personally, I'm more of a fan of recording onto a micro SD. When it comes to things like the installation, so I'll just show you this. You get this cheeky little tool, and if you press the button, so you just press that underneath, there we are. Clearly, once it's actually installed and on the wall, it's a lot easier to do that. But you've got the back plate there, and what you do is you just stick that on, or you can screw it on if you want to, I suppose depending on where you wanted it. So for some people you just want to stick it on, if you've got, say, a UPVC door. If you're putting it onto brick, then I suppose just put in a couple of raw plugs, which you get with it anyway. So well done XTU, you've covered every avenue so far for me. Then if you wanted to put it onto brick, then you've got the option to as well, and it just makes it nice and easy to adjust if you don't get it quite level. When it comes to the micro SD, that's just in the side there. So it's near the USB, but clearly the USB is designed to, but that part of the doorbell is really designed to come off, take it off, put it on charge. They claim every probably couple of months it needs to be recharged. So I suppose that's quite a good runtime, and you'll get a, through the app you can see the battery status as to when it will need to be recharged. As far as the micro SD, so that just pops into the side there, like that, quite a tiny little slot as micro SDs are. You can put up to 128GB micro SD card into it. Personally, I'd recommend, if you're going to use the SD, then just buy the biggest capacity you can. SD cards and micro SD cards, they're not that expensive now. So just try and get a bigger capacity as you can, because all you'll find is if you go for a smaller capacity, especially something like a 16 or 32 gig, then it just keeps rewriting over the video footage that you've got. So at least if you go to 128 gig, then you'll get more footage over a longer time. That's my recommendation anyway. And then when you wanted to pop that back on, so if that's on the wall, all you need to do is just pop that back on, and then that's back in place. Another really cool feature, that you can actually get it connected up to Alexa and Google Home as well. But I'm going to give a full demonstration to show you how to set it up on this model. But essentially all I want to do on the MR02 is just to show you the product. That's it in the flesh. And I'm just going to pop that back for now. Or I'm just going to put everything back in the box, because what I want to do, so although as good a device as this is, so let's just pop that to one side, because what I want to do is I just wanted to, as I say, just give you a brief overview of the MR02. This is the main one I want to concentrate on. So this is the XTU J10. Similar concept, it's still a battery powered wireless doorbell. The reason I put that to one side, I don't want to get anything mixed up. So, first of all, we've got a couple of stickers. So if you want to show people, say put it in your front window or by your front door, that you've actually got security, you've got a doorbell that's going to record, then at least you can prove that. Now this one is quite a different beast, and with this one you actually get a plate on the back as well. So depending on where you wanted to mount it, so with the MR02 it just has to be flat mounted. For some people you might want to angle it. So one thing to consider with the MR02 is that that's really designed to be mounted on a flat surface. And what I mean by that is if you've got your front door at a slightly different angle, or I suppose if your pathway leads up sideways, then you might not want your doorbell facing this way. And I know it sounds a little bit odd, but for some people you're going, oh yeah, that's right. One advantage of the J10 is that you've actually got a bracket on the back, and you can actually angle it up to 45 degrees either way. So even if you've got it mounted on the wall, then you can actually move it around 45 degrees either way. And really, for some people, that could make the difference between having a really good clear shot of somebody arriving at your door or not. So that's I suppose one real advantage of this. All you need to do is you just need to pop the screwdriver in at the bottom here and just undo that, and basically when it's installed, just pop it, well, I suppose when it's actually on the surface, then you just want to move it around. And I suppose it's really better to do that when you've got everything set up, because what you can do is you can actually view the footage from your phone before you get it all in place and ready to go. Now you do get, so you've got the chime in here, so you've got the chime and the batteries. So I'm going to get all that going in a moment. So just underneath, at the bottom of the box, you've got the full range of tools and accessories, everything to get you going. Now this sticker is really designed to go onto the back if you're going to mount it on say a flat surface. If you want to mount it onto a surface, for example brick, next to your front door, if you've got a fantastic new UPVC door, a wooden door frame that you really didn't want to screw anything into, then if you wanted to put it onto, for example, brick, then you did get a couple of raw plugs with it, a couple of screws to pop those in, and then just through the back here, then you can just locate that onto the brickwork. As I say, if you wanted to just stick it onto, say, a flat surface, something like a UPVC door frame, then that's really the thing to use. So all you need to do is just get that, I suppose, into position, and then just stick that on there. You do get a special screwdriver. It's quite small, very small. You probably can't see that in detail, but that's really designed to go underneath, and it's like a Torx screw. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what size it is. I would estimate probably a T2 or T3, something like that. But really, with the way the screw is, I'm just going to take that off to show you. So that's the backing plate, and really what happens is when you put that on there, so you decide which angle you want it at. That's what I was saying. So it's got little lugs underneath, so you decide where you want it, and then just screw that in when you're ready. But really the idea of having a special type of screwdriver is if it was just something like say a Phillips screwdriver that you could just come and undo it, then anyone could come and do that and then just walk off with your camera. So it's good to know that security has been thought about. You do get the USB charging lead, so that's included with it. It's quite fundamental. The batteries it's all integrated within the camera. So you've got the USB that just goes into the side here. That's it. So it just pops into the top. I'd recommend just give it a good charge before you start to use it. And just underneath, you've got that's where you store the not micro USB, it's micro SD. Getting my USBs and SDs mixed up. Anyway, so for the micro SD, that's it. That will just pop in under there. You can put up to 128 gig micro SD card in as well, same as the MR02. Personally, I'd recommend just get the biggest micro SD card you can. As I mentioned earlier, they're not that expensive. Pop it in the side, then you're ready to start recording. You have got cloud storage available again as an option if you want to. Just follow the instructions in the app if you wanted to go that route. Similar to the MR02, the resolution on the J10 is at full 1080p, which really for a doorbell is more than good enough. You've also got the IP66 rating, so when it comes to being outside, if it's rained on, it's not an issue. That's it's always comforting to know. But I think really, I suppose enough for me talking. I just want to start getting this set up. Now, the first thing I want to do is just pop these bits to the side. So I just need to put the batteries into the chime. Now that I've got the batteries in the chime, what you need to do is you now need to download the Cloud Edge app. Now this can be done, you've either got a couple of QR codes, so in the instructions, depending whether it's iOS or Android, you just got the couple of QR codes in there, or you can just search for it. And once you've done that, then that's basically what it shows. So I've just downloaded that, ready to go. So it's just saying add device, and we've got battery camera. So there's quite a lot down here actually. There's quite a lot of different options that you can add, but at the moment I've got battery camera. So what you need to do is press and hold the on button, well, press the doorbell. There we are. That's the chime it makes at the moment. I know you can change that, so I might select something a little bit different. But press and hold that. So now I've put the Wi-Fi password in. Must admit, I can never remember it. I need to change it to something a little bit more memorable. So now it's just saying to take in the film off the front. There we are. So it takes off the front of the camera. And what we need to do, So it's saying to remove all the film from the lens, tap next to show a QR code, and let the device scan the code. Keep the phone between 5 and 8 inches apart. Okay, I think that's done. So that sounded quite interesting. So next, that's it. So that's added successfully. Let me just show you this. So this is what's actually on the screen. Now I might get a little bit of feedback because clearly I've got the microphone and the speaker in sort of two positions here at the moment. But as you can see, that's what's on the screen. That's me. But so as far as the initial setup, that's it. Dead easy. But I think what I need to do now is I need to go and have a look outside, to go and have a look to see where I'm going to position the doorbell. So I've come outside now to start the installation of the camera. I've got my phone with me as well, because what you really need to do at this point is, I suppose, ideally just line it up in a position that you think will be okay. And at least if you've got your phone here, then you can sort of just have a quick look to make sure that the angle that you're putting it at, or at least the position, the rough position, is okay for you. So I've actually taken an old doorbell off. There was just a manual push doorbell on here before. But what I've done is I've taken that off, and it's left it, to be honest, a little bit messy. So I'm really glad that the plate I'm going to put over it, I just want to try and cover that, just to try and make it look a little bit smarter. So what I'm going to do is I've just got a couple of raw plugs. I'm just going to drill the holes and get the screws in place. Then I can just pop the camera on. So what I really like about putting this up, first of all, ever so easy. So easy to put that up. Now, what I do like is that if you haven't got the holes drilled completely upright and level, you'll notice I've not used a spirit level here. But I suppose what I'm doing is I'm just having a quick look at the gap here of the brick. And to be honest, from my eye level, that looks pretty good. Now, the first person to notice if it's not upright is my dad. Now he's got a very keen eye on things like this, and I have installed something before, wasn't quite upright. Every time he saw me, he always commented on it until I got it sorted. Anyway, hopefully when my dad sees this, then he'll notice that it's perfectly upright and he won't need to comment on it. Anyway, that's screwed in place. I couldn't believe how easy it was. What I can do now is to just pop the camera on, and then we can decide at what position we want it, and then I can get the screw put back underneath. I think at the moment what I'm going to do, because I've put it on and it's level, so it's pointing straight out, I'm going to leave it like that for now, because I think at the moment, because I want it to record the front of the house, and I want it to see clearly in front, then I'm happy with that as it is. So I've got the little screwdriver that I mentioned earlier. So just have a quick look underneath, get that screwed into place. That's it. Doesn't need to be too tight, but that's it. So that's well in place now. And I must say, installation wise, couldn't really be easier. I'm more of a fan of actually screwing it to the wall. I think for the position of my house here, I'd rather put it here into the brickwork. So just stick a couple of raw plugs into the brickwork, rather than trying to put it on the side here, because I think every time I shut the door, every time it bangs, then what I don't want it to do is to start to loosen off, especially if you're going to stick it on. So no, it doesn't matter. I suppose the personal preference is down to you, whether you want to screw it into the brickwork or whether you want to stick it on. But anyway, I'm really happy with the installation, happy with how quick it was. I think what I need to do is to go inside and start to have a look at some of the features that it offers. If you follow me on YouTube for a while, you know that I'm not a huge fan of instructions, and I suppose this is a classic case because I've just had a quick look into the instructions and actually missed a step. So what I should have done before I went to install it outside, I should have paired the doorbell with the chime. but easily done. I don't need to go and disconnect it. So all I need to do is to press the setting button on the side of the chime. I'm just going to quickly go and run and press the doorbell. So you press that, you've got a red flashing button, so you've got 20 seconds to go and press the doorbell. There we are. So that's telling me that I've got a visitor at the moment, but clearly I've not, because that's me. So what that's done, that's just paired the two together, because the light's just gone out, which is great. As far as the settings on this, first of all, you've got the setting button at the top, which is the one I've just pressed. Next one is the noise level. So you've actually got 4 different noise levels. I will just have a quick look at the instructions because you've got the different decibel ratings. So that's the loudest. That's 110 decibels, 100 decibels, 90, and then 80. So I suppose it is really good having the different options. So it's 110, 100, 90 and 80 decibels. And you've also got 4 different ringtones. I quite like that one. Bit more traditional. That's, I suppose, a little bit more in keeping nowadays. But I think for now, I'm going to keep it on that one. So what I want to do now is just give you a quick demonstration of how it all operates. So this is the live view. So you can see that I've got both cars in. So this is mine and my lad Thomas, because he's driving now. So he's invested in a car, clearly a Honda fan like myself. But that's the car that he wanted, and I think as a first car that should be ideal for him. But you can also turn it sideways, and I must admit, because I've set it to HD quality, you probably can't get a really good idea as to the quality on this, but this is absolutely fantastic. I do know that if I needed to look at someone, you know, if I needed to get someone's face, then it wouldn't be an issue in recognising someone. I'll try and give you a quick example of that in a moment. But as far as the settings, so let's have a quick look. So you've got different things like the screenshot. So if I needed to, for example, if there's someone that arrived at the door and if I needed to screenshot it, then that's it. That's just saved a copy. Intercom, so I can talk to someone at the door. They don't necessarily have to ring the doorbell to enable that. Original sound, so we've got well, different sounds. So you've got clown, uncle, and original sound. I think I'll just keep it on the original sound for now. What I can do is, if it didn't actually detect, so I'll come on to the motion detection in a moment. So if I wanted to just record something, then I've got the option to just manually record. So if I saw someone that was, say, over the road that I wasn't quite keen on or not quite happy with what was going on, then what I could do is I could manually record it, just press stop, and then it saved it, and then I can just go and I can just play that back. Absolutely brilliant. So motion detection, this is something that I do want to set up. Let's just press that, that's it. So what I want to do is I want to set this up so that it will only record when, say, when somebody walks out the front. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have it recording all the time, because the micro SD card will fill up too quickly. So I'm going to select, say, number 4 as far as the detection sensitivity. Automatic sensitive correction. So after opening, when the alarm is frequent, the system will automatically adjust the sensitivity. After closing, the sensitivity is based on manual setting. So that's good. So if it detects that there are too many false alarms, false recordings, then this will kick in. Power saving mode, I'll be honest, at the moment I'm not too interested in that because I'd rather just check to make sure the performance and everything is okay. Performance mode, so this mode has a long video recording time which will cause excessive power consumption. Again, I'm not too fussed about that because what I'd rather do is I'd rather make sure everything is recording okay. So at the moment I want to make sure that, again, let's put it up to number 4 just to make sure everything works okay. So this is going to try and detect humanoid, well, day humanoid detection and night humanoid detection as well. I'll try and give this a go at night as well. Recording time, I'm actually going to set it a little bit longer. I'm just going to set it to 20 seconds. So on this bit, this is the area that I want it to record in. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save that. So that saves successfully. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and ring the bell. Just go and have a look to make sure it all works. So I will just be a moment. So quickly just did that. And what it does, when you ring the bell, first of all, it's got a picture of me there. Not the best view of me, to be honest. But what it's doing is it's asking what I want to do. So do I just want to hang up? Do I want to answer the call? Or just message? At the moment, so I'm just going to reject the call there. So I've had the camera installed for probably a couple of hours now. I've let it do a handful of recordings. I've set the, as I saw earlier, I'll set the motion detection going. And to be honest, that's working really well. I've walked up and down a couple of times. And I just wanted to show you on the app. I didn't want to spend too long, I suppose, showing you some of this, but to be fair, it is actually really good. So you can enable some cloud storage for nothing. So if you press on the cloud, then there are certain, as you can see, this is where I've got all the motion detection. So I'll just show you this. Press that, and that's something that I'd saved earlier. So I just walked out to the car. As you can see, quality of it is actually really good. I'm really impressed. What I'll try and do perhaps tonight or over the next couple of nights is to have a look at the quality of it when it's dark. Because, you know, for me as well, that's really important. Because if somebody's going to try and tamper with one of the cars, then I want to make sure that the quality of it is really good. You might see here, I've got an Alexa device sat next to me. Now, you have got Alexa and Google Home. I thought that might enable it then, but didn't. But you can actually enable Alexa with the cameras as well. So, what I am going to do, I thought that might trigger her. So what I've done is I've changed the name of the camera just to make it a little bit easier, because when you're talking to the speaker, then you will know that it's a lot easier to say it as a certain camera. Anyway, so this is actually through the Alexa app. So if I wanted to, then I can access this from an Alexa device if I wanted to. Anyway.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
See, it always gets confused when I say her name. But what you can do is, if I wanted to, is I could actually view what is on the camera at the moment. So, Alexa, display Andrew's camera.
Okay.
So it just takes a moment to come on. There we are. Hopefully you can see that. So that is my front door at the moment. And I will just prove this. I'm going to go out the front and I'll go wave at the camera. So I hope that worked, because I couldn't see myself because I was out waving at the front door. I just quickly wanted to show you this. Now, as you can see from the top left-hand corner, it's almost 9 o'clock at night, and outside at the moment it's actually pitch black. But I just wanted to show you this. So this is the live camera view. And I'm not actually at my house at the moment. So the picture quality, honestly, is absolutely stunning. I'll show you this on my phone because I know some of you might think, well, that's just the live view. But yeah, as you can prove that that's my phone there. I'm actually really impressed with the quality of this. There is actually a huge amount that I could talk about. There's so many demonstrations that I could do with either camera, either the MR02 or the J10 by XTU. I just really wanted to show you, I suppose, a brief overview, especially the J10, because that's the model that I've installed on the front of my house now. That's what I'm going to be keeping, and I'll be honest, I'm going to be using that. But overall, I'm actually really impressed. If you're as impressed as I am, and if you're thinking about buying one of these, then I have provided a couple of links below to show you where to get them at competitive prices. I hope you've enjoyed this quick video on the XTU J10 as the main model, or the MR02, the sister camera that I've got sitting on the right hand side here. I should really have tied it up before I finished the video, but I've got quite enthused and got quite wrapped up with doing this demonstration. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I know it could be a little bit longer than some of my other videos if you followed me on YouTube, but I must admit I really enjoy these kind of videos where I really get into it, really get into the whole setup process and a little bit of a demo. As I say, I've been really impressed with it, but if you've got any questions on it, as far as the way it operates, or if you've got any questions before you're buying it, then, or even if you've bought one, if you're not sure about something, just pop it in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you have got one of these, any of the XTU cameras, or any of the doorbells, because if you have got one, just pop it in the comments and let me know what you think about it, because I always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for joining me.